Thank you. I really just want to thank all of you for being here. What a joy to look at all of the people in this audience. The first time we've come together since before the pandemic. What a great, great opportunity. And we've learned through all of this time how to bring in our brothers and sisters from home. So not only are we the 100+ people here, but we are another 75 or 80 people at home. So, wow, what a great convention. Thanks to all of you so much. I could say so many things here right now, but the one thing that I really want to say is beyond my gratitude to all of you for being here, both in person and online, is my gratitude to Doug Keene and Risa Keene, the new members of the Board of Directors of the Theosophical Society in America, for stepping up and taking responsibility for the leadership of this incredible organization. We're almost 150 years old, and I can't wait until my next incarnation in another 200 or 300 years to be back here in this room and see what it's like. Doug has taken on the responsibility of being president. And many of you know Doug, and if you don't, you will meet him over the next couple of days. I am thrilled and delighted to know that Doug will be leading our organization that we all love so dearly into the future. So before I call Doug up here, I forgot. I was supposed to ask you to make sure that you've turned off any ringing devices you may have on you, just in case. So, Doug, would you please join me on the stage for a moment? In my last official act as president of the Theosophical Society in America, that sounds so nice, I am thrilled, honored, and privileged to hand the gavel of this organization to Doug Keene, our president.
Thank you very much. And first I want to thank Barbara. Barbara, I first met Barbara, I probably met her earlier, but met her when I came onto the board in 2014 and was immediately impressed with her. And as she was vice president and became president, we've worked together very closely over the last few years. And I just want to tell her, on behalf of the entire TSA and my personal feelings, that she guided the organization with wisdom, intelligence, compassion, and sympathy over the last 6 years, and she will be sorely missed. She has generously offered to stay in touch and help with advice as needed, and I plan to take her up on that. And we're just very, very grateful she was here and will still be around for many years to come. Thank you, Barbara. So I've been on the job exactly 2 weeks, so I'm a newbie here. So if there's a few hiccups, please bear with, okay? So now I think we're going to go into the prayers of the world religions. And John, are you going to coordinate that?
Hi, my name is Risa Keene. Same name, last name is Doug Keene. He's my husband. I grew up and still follow the Jewish tradition. And when John asked me if I would represent Judaism with a prayer or a passage, I was very touched. Seeing how it's Friday night, I thought that what better way to start but with lighting the Shabbat candles. I'm going to chant it in Hebrew. And basically what I'm saying in English is, blessed are you, Spirit of the universe, who has made us holy with your mitzvot and commanded us to kindle the Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom.
From the Hindu tradition, Denalice.
This is a Hindu prayer. Many of you, students of Theosophy, know it. So if you know it, close your eyes and please recite it with me silently. Asato ma sadagamaya tamaso ma yotirgamaya mrityor ma amritam gamaya asato ma sadagamaya tamaso ma yotirgamaya Mrityor ma amritam gamaya asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma yotirgamaya mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti, Shanti. O God, lead us from the unreal to the real. O God, lead us from darkness to light. O God, lead us from death to immortality. Peace, peace, peace to all beings. A prayer for a blessed and a nourishing, very nourishing Summer National Convention. Thank you.
From the Sufi tradition, Justin.
These are two poems from the great Sufi poet Rumi, translated by Shriram Shiva. Alas, don't tell me the Christians are lost. Don't tell me the Jews are lost. Don't tell me the infidels are lost. Alas, my brothers and sisters, you are lost. That is why everyone else seems lost. A true lover doesn't follow any one religion. Be sure of that. Since in the religion of love, there is no irreverence or faith. When in love, body, mind, heart, and soul don't even exist. Become this love, and you will not be separated again.
The Native American tradition, Marilyn.
Just gives me so much pleasure to honor the indigenous people with all of you. We're gathered here from many directions, And in the way of Native American gatherings, I call not only to the four directions, the east, the south, the west, and the north, but also that below and that above. O Great Spirit, Creator, we come before you in a humble manner, giving thanks for all living beings in creation. May our prayers and loving thoughts be sent out collectively and individually throughout the world. May these prayers of love and gratitude quiet angry hearts, hatred, and abuse. We ask that we be shown another way if we've harmed or hurt another thing. May all people once again work toward understanding, respect, and truth. And may we each find peace and joy within and around. We pray and give thanks to you, Great Spirit, to Mother Earth, Father Sky, Grandfather Sun, Grandmother Moon, and all our relations in the greater circle of life for all the sacred gifts that are given to us. We pray, offering what gifts we have, that you may guide us, heal us, purify us, and protect us. And again, we pray that all our relations may live this life together in harmony and balance. Wado.
From the Christian tradition, Juliana.
I bring a prayer written by Franciscan friar Richard Rohr. God, Lord of all creation, lover of life and of everything, please help us to love in our very small way what you love infinitely and everywhere. We thank you that we can offer just this one prayer, and that will be more than enough. Because in reality, everything and everyone is connected, and nothing stands alone. To pray for one part is really to pray for the whole. And so we do. Amen.
From the Baha'i tradition, Jim.
On behalf of the Baha'is of DuPage County, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to you this evening. This is a prayer from the Baha'i Scriptures. O my God, verily these servants are turning to thee, supplicating thy kingdom of mercy. Verily, they are attracted by thy holiness and set aglow with the fire of thy love, seeking confirmation from thy wondrous kingdom and hoping for attainment in thy heavenly realm. Verily, they long for the descent of thy bestowal, desiring illumination from the sun of reality. O Lord, make them radiant lamps, merciful signs, fruitful trees, and shining stars. May they come forth in thy service and be connected with thee by the bonds and ties of thy love, longing for the lights of thy favor. O Lord, make them signs of guidance, standards of thy immortal kingdom, waves of the sea of thy mercy, mirrors of the light of thy majesty. Verily thou art the generous, verily thou art the merciful, verily thou art the precious, the beloved.
And I'd like to offer this from the Buddhist tradition. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the perfectly enlightened Buddha. These were some of his words spoken in one of his very famous discourses on loving kindness. Whatever living beings there are, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be happy. Let none deceive another, nor despise any person whatsoever in any place. Let no one wish harm to another through anger or ill will. Just as a mother would protect her only child at the risk of her own life, so let one cultivate a boundless heart towards all beings. Let thoughts of boundless love pervade the whole world, above, below, across, without any obstruction, without any hatred, without any enmity. Whether standing, walking, or lying down, let us maintain this heart of loving kindness towards all.
Now that we had the report of the Credentials Committee. Juliana Cesanos, you want to come up and introduce your committee?
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I'm going to call the Credentials Committee to the stage to make sure that we have the necessary quorum to hold this annual meeting. And this is Rosie Ulix, Karen Flanders-Schweitzer, and Stephen Brown.
On behalf of the Credentials Committee of the Theosophical Society in America, and according to our National Bylaw 8, Section 3, 3% of the members of the Society, calculated on the basis of the annual report of the National Secretary, covering the previous fiscal year, shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business at any meeting. As our total membership, as of March 31st, 2023, stands at 3,445 persons, and with a total count of 229, including registered participants and valid proxies, I am happy to report on behalf of the committee that we exceed the bylaw of 3% tonight.
I now declare this 137th convention open. So it's official. So some introductions. I want to introduce our former president, Betty Bland. Betty, where are you? Stand up. And David, please. David. Our former president, Barbara Hebert. Board members, let me just go through the board members and you can all stand up. Vice President Rosie Ulix, Suzanne Hopeful Wellenhofer, Eastern District, Steve Schweitzer, Eastern District, Linda Dorr, Central District, Peggy Hubel, Western District, Andrew Barker, not here, Western District, and our Central District, another board member that couldn't be here, Noah Sharamani from Central District. Let's have applause for everybody. From Crotona, we have Elena. Where's Elena? Elena? Oh, in the back. Hey, Elena. The president of the Theosophical Order of Service, and thank you for being a past board member, Kathy Gann. Kathy? And I want to mention officers of the TSA, Juliana Cesanos, National Secretary. Floyd Kettering, Treasurer. I'm not sure I've seen Floyd. Oh, there you are, Floyd. Hi. And Christopher Dixon, Chief of Staff. Christopher. And I want to introduce Katie Algio. Katie here tonight? She will be here tomorrow and Sunday. Okay, so say hello to Katie. I want to introduce the SNC speakers. Carl McColeman, I don't believe, has arrived yet. Rabbi Rama Shapiro. Pamela A. Oyatende. And our own Pablo Sender. We're going to have 2 online speakers later in the weekend, Ravi Rabindra and Imam Jamal Rahman. And you've already heard him speak, but representing and president of YADA, Young Adult Theosophical Association, is Justin Tanksley. Okay. We're going to have greetings that have been sent in to us, recorded greetings now.
Greetings from the National Capital Lodge, Washington, D.C.
2023.
Warm greetings from the Dharma Study Center. We would like to wish you all a warm and inspiring 137th Summer National Convention. And thank you all for taking this journey with us.
On behalf of all members of the Canadian Theosophical Association, we extend our warm and fraternal greetings to all the participants of your 137th National Summer Congress. May this convention, a shared journey, the art of the spiritual path, guide us and inspire us to contribute as best we can to the well-being of humanity.
On behalf of more than 13,000 members of the Indian section, I bring greetings and good wishes to all the members of the American section participating in the 137th Summer National Convention from July 14 to 16, 2023. Your outstanding planning and innovative programs based on a very deep theme has lured me to attend one of your conventions in the future, where I can meet the members of the land where Theosophy was born. May you all embark on a very fruitful shared journey which will become the heart of your spiritual path.
Hello friends, my name is Stephen MacDonald. I'm the president of the Theosophical Society in Australia. On behalf of the members of the Australian section, I send you all our warmest greetings and best wishes for a wonderful national convention. The theme of the shared journey, the heart of the spiritual path, is inclusive of the many ways that we seek the truth. May your gathering be blessed and inspired by the great ones who guide our organisation.
Hi everyone, my name is Teresa and I bring warm greetings from the PSCL Lodge in Southern California. As we move into the Aquarian age and its new challenges, we pray for love, patience, and understanding so that we can all collaborate successfully in our altruistic endeavors. As we look for the light within us, Blavatsky once said this, that the power to know does not come from book study nor from mere philosophy, but mostly from the actual practice of altruism in deed, word, and thought. For that practice purifies the covers of the soul and permits that light to shine down into the brain mind. May all of us think, say, and act as we ought, and above all, pursue what our soul truly desires for the betterment of humanity. God bless the TSA and its mission in the new age. Have a good meeting, everyone. Bye.
Hello, I'm Jenny Baker from London. I bring greetings from all the Society members in England and Wales, and on their behalf, may I wish all those attending the Summer National Convention, whether in person or virtually, an uplifting and fulfilling experience, and may they have many blessings.
On behalf of all the Irish members, I send you over the ether heartfelt and warmest greetings from Ireland to your esteemed guest speakers and to all the delegates gathered together for your Summer National Convention 14th to 16th of July, 2023. May you all experience a wonderful and blessed few days with much inspiration and collaboration on your convention theme, A Shared Journey, the Heart of the Spiritual Path. Rest assured, we will be attuned to you in mind and spirit during these precious days. May the guidance and blessings of the Holy Ones overshadow this special event, and may the positive and uplifting energies raised radiate light and wisdom worldwide. Warmest regards, Marie Harkness, Organizing Secretary of the Theosophical Society in Ireland.
The Charleston, South Carolina Theosophical Book Study Group sends greetings and best wishes for a wonderful 2023 convention. To the attendees of the 137th Summer National Convention, on behalf of the members of the TS, the Netherlands, I wish you all joyful and fruitful days in Wheaton, exploring different paths but with one heart. Vim Lees, General Secretary.
Greetings and best wishes from the Mid-South Federation, which met in April in the mountains of North Carolina.
On behalf of all the members of the Theosophical Society in East and Southeast Asia, may I send our best wishes to the Theosophical Society in America on the occasion of your 137th Summer National Convention from July 14 through 16, 2023, with the inspiring theme, A Shared Journey, the Heart of the Spiritual Path. Have a great convention. Warmest regards, Chong Sen.
Buenos días, estamos desde Caracas, Venezuela, deseándoles que tengan un evento maravilloso, donde sé que todos los hermanos se van a encontrar, y desde aquí le mandamos el mayor éxito en la preparación y en las cosas que van. Estamos muy contentos, y desde la logia Elena Blavatsky aquí en Caracas, Venezuela, los queremos mucho. Saludos.
Warm greetings from the Research Triangle Theosophical Study Center located near Raleigh, North Carolina. This is part of our group that attended the Mid-South Federation.
Dear attendees of the 2023 Summer National Convention, we send you all our warmest greetings from New Zealand and know your convention will be an enjoyable and worthwhile experience of sharing and learning. I have very fond memories of my time at Alcott attending a summer convention some years back. The theme you have chosen, A Shared Journey, the Heart of the Spiritual Path, is an inspiring one, and keeps to the fore the lofty goals that we are aspiring to reach, and the path that encompasses both the peaks and valleys, which are all quite necessary in our journey of inner discovery. Our best wishes to you all at your special gathering, Richard Sell, National President.
We, at the Houston Lodge, would like to send our warmest greeting to all those, our brother and sister that are attending this year's Summer National Convention. We wish you will gain new insight and wisdom while attending this year's summer retreat. Be well, be safe, be blissful, and have a wonderful weekend.
Hello and greetings from the Philippine section. I am Charlie Romero, and in behalf of our members, we send our warmest greetings to all of the participants and organizers of your 137th Summer National Convention of the American Section. We pray and hope that you will have a very successful, meaningful, and inspiring convention led by your very able Sister Barbara Eber and Brother Doug Keene.
Hi, the members of the Spaniel Lodge here in Los Angeles, California, would like to thank Barbara Herber for her service as President of the Theosophical Society in America, and would like to send their best wishes to all the participants of the Summer National Convention 2023. May you have an inspiring and fruitful convention.
Hi, welcome to the National Convention. On behalf of the Vietnamese Studies Center, we would like to wish you all a great convention where you gain clarity on your purpose and that you will use that to make a positive impact in society. Have a great convention, and we'll see you back again next year. Bye.
Dear Theosophical Society in America and friends, and congratulations with your 137th Summer National Convention. Greetings to all of you from Theosophical Society in Norway. We wish you peace and all good. Thank you.
Greetings from the Minneapolis Lodge, where we have had a year of adventures. We have picnicked at Lake Harriet, spent the fall on a study of conscious dying, and in the winter we dared to put on a play about the women of Theosophy, on stage and in costume. In the spring we toured the tulips together, along with searching for and finding many of the symbols of Theosophy and the Freemasons at Lakewood. We will be joining your 137th Summer National Convention by Zoom, and maybe some of us in person.
Greetings from Nairobi. On behalf of the East and Central African section of the Theosophical Society, I send you warm greetings for a very enlightening journey as you all explore the heart of the spiritual path during your 137th National Convention. Have a wonderful time during the convention. Thank you.
Ok, 1, 2, 3. Bonjour.
Dear brothers and sisters, we, the Sri Lanka Theosophical Society, send greetings for the 137th Summer National Convention. Best regards, Duminda A.L. Wanigasekera, Presidential Representative.
Greetings and warm regards from the Red Bank Theosophical Study Center. Looking forward to seeing you online and knowing it will be a wonderful and informative 137th Summer Convention. We do so appreciate your giving us the opportunity to attend via Zoom and partake in the fellowship and positive energy of the convention. Blessings, light, and love. Marianne Wachowski, Secretary.
On behalf of all the members of the National Section of the Theosophical Society in Greece, I send you warm greetings and our best wishes for a most successful 137th Summer National Convention of the Theosophical Society in America. Dr. Alexandros Boussalengas, National President of the TS in Greece.
To all our brothers and sisters in the United States, may the spirit of this convention, that journey we share in the search for the eternal, shine and illuminate your minds and penetrate deep into the heart of each one of you. May your further work reap many fruits and succeed in spreading the truth which Theosophy invites us to seek. Warm greetings from the Theosophical Society in Costa Rica.
Warmest greetings from the Surya Study Center in New Jersey, and best wishes for a successful and enjoyable 137th Summer National Convention. We join you in fellowship as we all continue our journey on the spiritual path. Joel Sunbear, Secretary.
Dear brothers and sisters of America, despite the distance between us, we are all very close because we all chose the teachings of Theosophy as our spiritual path, and this is the most important thing that we have been able to do in this life. So let us help each other to realize the favorable opportunities that are open to us as members of the Theosophical Society. We in Ukraine already feel your support and help, and it fills our hearts with joy and gratitude. Let your summer convention be another important step towards brotherhood. With warm greetings and best wishes to all of you from your Ukrainian colleagues, Svetlana Gavrilenko, General Secretary of the TS in Ukraine.
Greetings to the Theosophical Society in America National Convention attendees from the Study Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. Regards, Mark Hunter Brooks.
Dear friends, from Bolivia, the heart of South America, we extend our love to all those attending the North America Summer National Convention. May the holy beings enlighten and guide the heads of the TS to be the appropriate channels in the dissemination of theosophical wisdom. Love and blessings for the whole theosophical family. Maria Luisa Cabrera, President.
Well, friends, on behalf of all of your
friends, brothers, and sisters who work at the ADJAR International headquarters. I send you their greetings and best wishes for this Summer National Conference that you're having here in Wheaton. For those of you who don't know, I'm Tim Boyd, and I am the International President for the Theosophical Society. I'm wishing you all the best for this time together. It's a special moment for you all for a number of reasons. First of all, you're actually going to be physically in each other's presence for the first time since this pandemic began. That's a wonderful thing in itself. But also, this is a transition moment for the TS in America. Many, many good things have been put into place over the years, but at this particular meeting, Barbara Hebert, a good friend, longtime co-worker, is going to be stepping away from the role of the president, and another friend and longtime co-worker, Doug Keene, will be taking it on. You have been in good hands, and you will still be in good hands. Of that, I'm certain. So it's a good time to recollect. The heart of the spiritual path is what we're talking about at this particular convention. Listen to it, think about it, and then try to internalize it in the days that pass. So wishing you all best. Once again, from all of your friends, more than 130 people who work at the ADJAR Theosophical Center.
I always find it so inspiring to hear from like-minded people from around the world who are supporting us in our convention. So now we want to open it up to greetings from the floor. And John has the microphone. Just raise your hand and he'll come over.
Greetings from the West Houston Theosophical Studies Center in Houston, Texas.
Greetings from the Denver Theosophical Society in Colorado, and greetings from the Theosophical Order of Service in the United States of America.
Greetings from Seattle's Theosophical Society and Andrew Barker, who's on the board as our, the district representative. Yeah, I'm so sorry. But anyway, he's great, and thank you.
Greetings from the Wheaton Olcott Lodge. We have several members scattered around the audience. We are thrilled to be back in person, as all of you are, and we're just glad to see you all.
Greetings from New York. Congratulations on the 137th Congress, the Heart of a Spiritual Path. Michael Gomes and Lynn wanted me to tell you all congratulations and hello. I spoke to her today while I was here. This is my first time at the conference, and I feel very honored to be here. Thank you.
Greetings from the Valley of the Sun study group in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's 118 degrees right now. So I am very happy to be here.
I bring you greetings from the Tucson, Arizona Study Center and also the Salt Lake City Study Center that have merged, Clara Dean Wyckoff and Alan Harris's group.
I bring greetings from the Crotona Institute of Theosophy. We have 32 residents that send you their best wishes. And greetings from the Esoteric School of Theosophy as well. We are celebrating our 100th year in Ojai, California next year. If you feel like seeing California, come on over and join us. Thank you.
Greetings from the Theosophical Society in the East Bay, Northern California. Welcome.
Hi, we were first up on the screen when it was still really quiet, but greetings from the Washington, D.C. National Capital Lodge and several of our, oh, you guys can see us up there. There's a few of our members up there, past president, current president, and so many of us here too. So happy to be here. Thank you.
Greetings from the Fort Myers Study Center in Fort Myers, Florida, and greetings from the Florida Federation.
Greetings from the Theosophical Investment Trust. And anybody who wants to talk about investments, I'm here all weekend. Also, greetings from the Humanitarian Service Project.
Warmest and kindest greetings from our Detroit Lodge, your neighbors from across the pond. We are so happy to be here. We have almost a whole row of our Detroit fellow members, so we're so excited to be in person with everyone.
Greetings from the Theosophical Society in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and greetings especially sent from our president, Kathleen Newman. Welcome, everyone.
Greetings from the staff at the Theosophical Society, and welcome, and we're thrilled to have you here.
For all your greetings. Speaking of the staff, I meant to recognize the staff and all their contributions to this weekend. We will thank them later, but right now let's recognize the staff. Any staff here, please stand up and applaud. So we'll move to traditional international invocation to begin the convention. May those who are the embodiments of love immortal bless with their help and guidance this society, founded to be a channel for their work. May they inspire it with their wisdom, strengthen it with their power, and energize it with their activity. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom,
O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves
as one with thee know they are therefore one with every other. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't make it clear. We were going to do it one line at a time, but that's fine. So, thank you. No. So, hello. Good evening to everyone, members and friends, those that have been able to attend in person and those watching virtually. How delightful it is to be together again as we open our 137th Summer National Convention. It is a privilege to be with you tonight. We are linked through our shared compassion for the Theosophical Society and our common humanity. What do most religions have in common? A commitment to service to humanity in some form. This is often linked to a recognition of the divine and its expression through each individual. Over the years, I have sought insights on service in spiritual writings. I have read strong and inspirational commentaries throughout the theosophical literature. I form my thoughts into passages, mostly as a reminder to myself. So it is not from the perspective of a teacher that I speak tonight. It is from that of a student that these words come. And by sharing what has resonated for me, perhaps they will resonate with some of you. Service comes in many descriptions and circumstances. This can be as simple as a smile, lending a caring ear, or treating others with respect. Fulfilling our family obligations, work duties, community responsibilities can all be seen as service and perhaps as needed before we extend our efforts beyond our individual commitments. So service, or in Sanskrit karma, is one of the three aspects of the theosophical life, along with devotion, or bhakti, and knowledge, or jnana. These are also the three classical paths of yoga. Service is so fundamental to spiritual consciousness, it is sometimes not even separated out as a separate path. We may struggle with gaining devotion and knowledge at times, but service is always available to us. So I'd like to start with a quotation from G.S. Arundel. He wrote, "As beautiful flowers are found in barren places, so is the most beautiful service that which is rendered in the times and places of greatest need." Unquote. Through the study of theosophy, we realize we are individual in appearance only. Our true nature is inherently intertwined with all others. In fact, all life is a part of one universal and indivisible whole. How then can we express our beliefs in a coherent and harmonious way that will benefit those with whom we are inseparable? How can we find life's purpose that is compatible with our values? How can we find practical implementations of our ideals into our daily lives? How can we work through community to elevate humankind? These are the questions that have been expressed through the generations of seekers of light. As we experience the world, both directly and indirectly, we wish our lives in some way to benefit parts of humanity. We may be accused of wanting to, quote, save the world, unquote. I say, yes, we do want to save the world. That's what we're here for. We can have minor and even major impact on societies, particularly if we act collectively. What is the world other than a collection of individuals? So let us begin by looking at some ancient texts, the Bhagavad Gita. In the 18th and final discourse, Krishna is counseling Arjuna. In the 5th verse, he writes, "Acts of heated discipline, giving and sacrifice are not to be let go, but rather carried out. For heated discipline, giving and sacrifice are purifiers of the wise." What is this heated discipline? It appears to be compassion for the divine and for service. Taking the verse as a whole, it suggests that this discipline, associated with giving and sacrifice, are to be implemented for the betterment of our fellows. He notes that these modalities are purifiers of the wise. We can purify ourselves and gain wisdom regarding the nature of the real, bringing understanding into our lives. Let's look at some other comments, some comments by the masters. Master Serapis writes, "Help your needy brother, and you shall be helped yourself, in virtue of the never-failing law of compensation." Unquote. He refers to the law of compensation. This is the divine law of karma, often oversimplified and misunderstood. However, we can see from his comment that any selfless activity to assist another brother or sister, you can benefit from. Perhaps not in the immediate concrete form, but in the greater scheme of development. Master Moria writes, "He who is desirous to learn how to benefit humanity and believes himself able to read the character of other people must begin, first of all, to learn to know himself, to appreciate his own true value." Master Moria tells us that in order to be able to serve humanity, we must understand our true nature to a certain level of awareness. Aristotle is quoted as saying, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." Lao Tzu wrote, "Knowing others is wisdom, knowing yourself is enlightenment." And Krishnamurti reminded us, to know oneself is to study oneself in action, which is relationship. Unquote. So self-observation and self-examination are key parts of the spiritual path. Master K.H. writes, "Around you are acquaintances, friends and associates, in and outside the TS. Point them to the light, lead them to the path. Teach them, be a missionary of love and charity. Thus, in helping others, win your own salvation." Unquote. Anytime we can nurture and expand one's curiosity and interest in the spiritual path, we give them a great benefit of untold value. We have all had inspirational figures in our life, and we can fulfill that role for others. It may be in minor or perhaps occasionally life-changing ways. Be willing to share experience and insights. As HPB relates in the Golden Stairs, have a readiness to give and receive advice and instruction. Unquote. H.P. Blavatsky has written in Some Words on Daily Life, "Theosophy should not represent merely a collection of moral verities, a bundle of metaphysical ethics, epitomized in theoretical dissertations. Theosophy must be made practical. And it has, therefore, to be disencumbered of useless digressions in the sense of desultory orations and fine talk. Let every theosophist only do his duty, that which he can and ought to do, and very soon the sum of human misery within and around every branch of your society will be found to be visibly diminished." Unquote. HPB was always very direct with her students and did not mince words. Each of us will strive for meaningful work. This will generally be in service to our brothers and sisters in some fashion, even indirectly. While our lives unfold, we hope to find ways to purify and expand our consciousness so that we may be better agents of divine intention. We may struggle in our daily lives for basic physical necessities, substantive personal relationships, relevant vocations, and methods to contribute to our community and society at large. A plethora of choices face us every day. Each choice will lead to a different relative outcome. Certainly, we can focus on our own development. We can attempt to follow the 10 Commandments of Judaism and Christianity, the Paramitas of Buddhism, the Yoga Sutras of Hinduism, or the Golden Stairs of Theosophy, although likely imperfectly. However, individual progress is generally not sufficient, and we seek ways in which to contribute to the betterment of humankind. If we are alive, we must act. For even in inaction is action. Karma is the path of action, and ultimately has the ability to lift the burden of humanity. Therefore, service, however we may define it, must include altruism as its basis. Annie Besant, writing in The Spiritual Life, says, "Only by service this fullness of life is made possible. The whole of the universe is yoked to service of humankind. Every individual should be pledged to the service of humanity, past, present, and future. Humanity evolving up to the divine personage, eternal, immortal, indestructible. That should be the object of life, the goal of evolution." Unquote. These high ideals may not be attainable in the short term for most of us. However, our lives consist of many small steps and decisions that may have large consequences. If we keep an eye on the ideal, that can help motivate us and guide us in day-to-day choices. Energy moves from our inward nature to our outer world. Because of this, it is not simply our actions that matter, but the motivation behind them. We wish to bring something essential of ourselves, our true being in its most purified form, to the outer experiences in which we are involved. If our motives are selfish, no matter how beneficial the activity that we're doing, we do not grow spiritually. Yet, if we are selfless, nearly any activity would likely be rooted in divine intention. Internal purification is therefore necessarily entwined with external performance. It is helpful to reflect intuitively on intention and choice. The appearance of service only is a hollow shadow of true service. If our motivation is pure, results are not essential. We need to work intelligently and be willing to learn from our mistakes. However, success is not always measured by outcome from a spiritual perspective. George Arundel, who I quoted earlier, was the third international president of the TS, and he wrote a small inspirational instructional manual called The Way of Service. If you haven't read it, I recommend it. He describes 3 principles of service in the theosophical sense. He writes, if you desire to be of service to others with advantage to them and without danger to yourself, see that these 3 principles guide you in your service. Firstly, that your greatest joy is to tread the path of service. Secondly, that you know yourself to be but an agent of some force greater than your own, which sends power of service through you. And thirdly, that you see in others the same divine nature you yourself possess, unquote. If we realize we are on the path of service, this can be our greatest joy. You need not act entirely on your own account, but realize you are a conduit of empathy and assistance brought through divine forces. Give empathy and compassion, but not with condescension and pity. We all need help at some point, be it physical, emotional, financial, mental, social, or spiritual. As a former teacher of mine used to say, give the gift of receiving and receive the gift of giving. I'll say that again. Give the gift of receiving and receive the gift of giving. Those that we help are not different from ourselves, but an extension of ourselves. When we believe this in our hearts, we are able to see the unified whole. As Ram Dass has written, we are truly walking each other home. Dr. I.K. Taimni, a well-known theosophical author, wrote a book entitled Principles of Theosophical Work. And in the preface, he begins, the work of the Theosophical Society can be organized efficiently only when a large majority of its members, scattered throughout the world, understand clearly the aims of the society and the general principles which should guide them in planning and carrying out their work, unquote. And although much laudable work is being done every day throughout the world by individuals and organizations, through caring and compassion, humility and honesty, generosity and genuineness, a special opportunity is available for working with like-minded individuals through the vehicle of the Theosophical Society. Members and friends can join together to promote these teachings to a world in dire need of understanding our deeper nature and development. How might this manifest? And how can we as individuals contribute to the movement known as Theosophy? Dr. Taimni writes, as this divine plan which we see working and evolution of life and form everywhere is not a mere pious belief or philosophical speculation, but is as matter of fact as the working of a modern factory. It naturally requires the services of a vast army of agents who are responsible for the working of its different parts and their successful completion. These agents are hierarchies of angels and adepts who, from the subtler planes, guide the forces of nature and bring about the changes and adjustments in human institutions that are needed for the harmonious and efficient working of the plan, unquote. This training need not only be for our own development and unfoldment. As we become increasingly aware of unseen energies and entities, we can be of service in ways that may be less obvious. By developing ourselves as a center for peace and harmony, not only can we influence those we come into contact with, but through openness and meditation, we can send healing energies and messages. Beyond individual blessings, we can access higher powers which, when channeled, can have even more dramatic effects. We can send benevolent wishes to large groups of people with compassionate desire for healing and elevation. This is a dynamic and limitless resource. Jeffrey Hodson, in an article he wrote for The Theosophist in 1933, titled Nature and the Gods, writes, "Those who serve by thought power and evocation of superphysical energies, seeking to heal, to inspire, to uplift, to bless, to influence the mind of their fellows in the direction of brotherhood and peace, may greatly increase their effectiveness through cooperation with the gods. They bring to such work knowledge of the operation of natural forces, capacity to direct their flow, and freedom from the limitations of time and matter, and are therefore valuable allies in all altruistic work," unquote. So what he's describing here is that those who can align themselves with higher energies and transmit those energies through thought power and other elevated modalities can have enormous influence on others through their mental faculties and emotional natures. We must be careful not to interfere uninvited, of course, in specific situations. But sending out positive and compassionate thoughts that are blissful and healing could provide a general blessing and be free of judgment. Hodson continues, "The power of individuals mentally to influence thought, character, and conduct of others increases in geometric progression, we are taught, when they think together in groups. The enormous potentiality for good of groups of dedicated and trained servants of the race who deliberately use their thought power for beneficent purposes at once becomes obvious," unquote. Jeffrey Hodson did this in New Zealand in the 1940s. He created a number of groups that would meditate together throughout the country, sending healing thoughts to individuals and groups. How successful he was, of course, is hard to know. But the unification of effort among individuals, and especially with divine alignment, can be an enormous power for good in the world. Most of us have various networks in which we operate on a day-to-day basis. We have family, friends of various origins, professional relationships with colleagues, social groups, avocational clusters, political affiliations, geographical connections, and other collections of acquaintances across the spectrum. Some relationships are purpose-driven, while others are simply for comradeship, leisure, and enjoyment. It is through interacting with other persons that we can learn about and improve ourselves. How then can we use our work in local groups to advance the vision of the Theosophical Society? Well, there are many answers to this question. And it may vary by location and makeup of each lodge and study center. This may be done by supplying education and through teaching and deep reflection through meditation and other similar practices. Providing altruistic community services and by opening opportunities for those that might not be aware of the TS by sharing its concepts and tenets. Dr. Timney recommends taking this one step further. Beyond study centers and lodges, he suggests the creation of theosophical training centers for the specific purpose of training members for theosophical work. Imagine for a moment with me the potential of having tens of thousands of theosophical workers in the field, striving for the highest levels of service and ethics for the benefit of humankind. Extend this to the potential of hundreds of thousands and even millions of workers, all interconnected and holding the beliefs of unity, compassion, and fairness. The impact could be enormous on the affairs of peoples around the world. In addition, consider the impact that could be made with harmonization of large numbers of members working with divine entities on the higher planes. You may say, how can we find opportunities to be of service? This is the amazing part. You don't need to necessarily search for them, but they will come to you. They will come right to you. They are often small and seemingly insignificant choices, but each step, more opportunities open. We need to just be aware and recognize them. At some time in our development, we may need to reach out, but mostly they stare us in the face. There's the concept of intention. This is the idea that by placing a desire or motivation for a particular kind of activity out into the higher planes of the universe, and then the circumstances will appear, although not necessarily exactly in the time and form sought. Once we open to certain possibilities, there is no end to opportunities. In Lucifer, the Theosophical Journal, it's written, Theosophy has to fight intolerance, prejudice, ignorance, and selfishness, hidden under the mantle of hypocrisy. It has to throw all the light it can from the torch of truth, with which its servants are interested. It must do this without fear or hesitation, dreading neither reproof nor condemnation, unquote. How can we even begin to fight intolerance, prejudice, ignorance, and selfishness? Well, we can begin by not indulging in these practices ourselves and setting models for others who may be observing us. We can choose to do selfless actions when the opportunity arises. And we can support movements and organizations that reflect our ideals and may have more repercussions than we can achieve personally. Kindness can be infectious. Compassion can be contagious. I'll repeat that. Kindness can be infectious. Compassion can be contagious. Annie Besant, again in The Spiritual Life, writes, "It is our duty to act, because without action, the world could not go on. It is our duty to act in the very spot where we are, because there lies the duty for which we have been born and which we should discharge perfectly," unquote. Some may describe this as karma, the consequence of the law of cause and effect. We may be confident that we are placed in situations where circumstances are favorable for our growth and development from a spiritual perspective. Although we may wonder at times what a particular relationship or special ability may have in our overall unfoldment, we can feel assured, as Annie Besant notes, we are where we need to be. It is only through service and self-sacrifice that we may learn our true nature. HPB, in the famous passage, writes, "To reach nirvana, we must reach self-knowledge, and self-knowledge is of loving deeds the child." So loving deeds lead to self-knowledge, and what are loving deeds other than service to our brothers and sisters and other sentient beings? So how do we choose which opportunities for service to follow? We have so many choices. This is a challenge to each of us. We must decide how to divide and apply our energies. We do have a duty to prevent cruelty and harmful action whenever we're able. We should contain our speech to messages that are kind, true, and helpful. HPB has suggested there are many ways to help our fellow beings, but none higher than nourishing the soul through spiritual support and teaching. At times we may choose how to help another ease their burden. In other instances, we may be thrust into a situation unbidden, at least to our conscious mind. Jeffrey Hodson, in his book, Thus I Have Heard, refers to the masters. He writes, "They have given us a great invitation," and now he's quoting the masters, "Come out of your world into ours." Hodson continues, "In their world there is continual and unbroken service. Thought of self is an utter impossibility. Often our self-centeredness forms the only obstacle which prevents our entering their world," unquote. So this is an invitation to join the masters in their work. Our daily tasks may not seem so noble as serving the masters, yet every effort to care for another, to ease pain, to bring joy will be noted and recorded. HPB taught us in The Voice of the Silence, let not the fierce sun dry one tear of pain before thyself has wiped it from the sufferer's eye. So we may ask, are we worthy of service? Are we capable of making a real difference? Do we feel helpless in the context of world events? It's easy to feel overwhelmed, powerless, frustrated, weak and dejected, and even resigned to failure. Whatever our politics, we cannot feel comfortable with global inequities, injustice, and war. We can take solace, however, in the words of a master given so many years ago, but still as true today as it was then. The master writes, have confidence in yourselves as we have in every one of you. For there is not one single member of the society without a link to us, or whose help we do not need. Have we not chosen each one of you because we need you? You need each other, and we need you all, unquote. This is reassuring in a time of despair. This is comforting in a world of stress and strain. This reminds us that we are on a path, although difficult and challenging, that will eventually bring us to a brighter light and a deeper peace. So what are the limits of service, and what would they be? There are limits of service only in that we must do our own work and not that of another. We must do it fully and completely with devoted attention. Annie Besant has written that it is doubly harmful to be doing the work of another. It interferes with our own work, for it distracts us from our focus, and also deprives another of the work that they should be doing. This should be kept in mind when we choose what work is ours. So in summary, theosophical work can exhibit numerous facets. We can work individually as advocates for some human need. We can develop ourselves internally in order to purify our efforts, to be compassionate and selfless in our attentions. We can connect with the deeper aspects of our being and access hidden powers that can be a source of nourishment spiritually to ourselves and others. We can work through our theosophical organizations to promote brotherhood and unity in all aspects of human endeavor. We can educate ourselves and others through examining comparative religion and theosophical principles. We can work in harmony with divine processes and maybe divine beings. And we can understand unexplained laws of nature and use latent powers to implement beneficent interventions in the global community. It is with this knowledge that we realize that any efforts to assist in bringing forth the divine plan are not wasted, but a true step toward the pursuit of evolutionary progress, and ultimately will manifest as significant elevations in health, relationships, and consciousness. So what very practical things can we do? How can we be of service? So I've made a list, and I'm sure all of you could make a longer list. A few of them are, always say yes to kindness. Kindness is key. Volunteer for something outside your comfort zone. Have a conversation with an elderly person, or many conversations with many elderly persons. Donate even a small amount of money, time, or energy to a cause you believe in. Connect with a TOS, a Theosophical Order of Service, center near you, or start a new one. Tell someone you admire them. Tell someone you love them. Meditate on creating a just and blessed peace. Act like you are a caring, compassionate, and ethical human being, because you are. So there are many ways to serve our fellows. Just to be able to care for loved ones may be a role for us, at least for a time. Reach out to those around you and show compassion. Ultimately, service is just being the person you are meant to be. This is a call to arms, your arms and my arms, the ones attached to our torsos, not the other kind. Embrace the world, lift humanity, carpe diem, seize the day. When we join our efforts together, we generate enormous energies. Together we can move mountains. Together we can achieve miracles. together we can create a more compassionate world. Thank you very much.